welcome. You're watching NewsX. I'm Megha Sharma. This is VaKu special edition with the 75 years of independence that India is celebrating this year. This is India and the World VaKu special edition. Joining me on the broadcast is a very special guest. I'm right now at the embassy of the Slovak Republic. With me is His Excellency Robert Maxian, and it's fantastic to have you on the broadcast with us.
Thank you very much. I am very pleased to accept the offer of your television, and also first of all, I would like to express my happiness that we are back in India after several years. It is our third posting to India. We are really having the great time in India. We enjoying. Our children have been grown up in India, so it will be always pleasure to return to India now in the position of the ambassador is very important for me, and I'm looking forward to have my tenure in this lovely country.
Thank you so much, Ambassador, for such warm words. And there's a warm welcome for you. You have just a few months ago become the ambassador from the Republic of Slovakia into India. How has your experience personally been in these past few months? And may I add, this is not the first time that you're coming to India.
Well, yes, as I have mentioned, we have been here for some years, and we had excellent connections to this country. We are in fond of Indian history, culture, people. We like Indian smell. We, of course, are very happy with whatever is going on in India. We see India is a global player, and of course it's a very important country and our partner, which we are valuing so much. Slovak and Indian friendship is going on for so many years, way back. Although we have been just celebrating, or we will be celebrating 30 years anniversary of Slovak independence, but our relationship go beyond year 1938. Just for your information, in 1938, Vladimír Klementis, the first Slovak Minister of Foreign Affairs, met in Bratislava in the famous Slovak restaurant Kerka in the Hviezdoslavov Square with Jawaharlal Nehru, your first ever Prime Minister, with his daughter Indira Gandhi, and also they had a nice discussion. There is a symbolic plaque in the main square commemorating to our friendship, and this friendship is lasting up to now. I must say that conflict on Ukraine, which was initiated by Russian aggressors, have also a little bit strengthened our relationships. On 28th of February, your Prime Minister Modi has called my Prime Minister Heger, and he was requested for help regarding the evacuation of Indian students from territory of Ukraine. We have been doing the extraordinary measures and helping our Indian friends, and we have evacuated in March more than 1,300 Indian students. So it was a great help from Slovakia, and the friendship is continue up to today.
I think that truly marks and is a sign of a great deepening relationship between both these nations. And like you mentioned, 1938, a very significant year. Who would have known that the future Prime Minister, the first Prime Minister of our country, has already met the first Prime Minister of your country. And 1921, the first consulate that had been set up in Bombay when it was Czechoslovakia. And obviously things changed, and it was 1993 when the official ties between India and Slovakia then flourished further. Taking a look back at history and now with the current ties, how has trade particularly built up between both the nations?
Well, thank you very much for this question. Trade is picking up significantly. I am very pleased that trade has reached first ever 500 million euros, which is a significant achievement, but although I would like to say, on the other hand, that it is far beyond the expectations, and there is a lot more to achieve. Generally, we are selling to India the goods in the worth of 115 million euros, and we are buying from India around 315 millions of goods. We are selling to India personal vehicles, we are selling to India machinery, spare parts, rubber making technologies, and we are buying from India textiles, also upper shoe parts. But what is significant, I would like to point out, the recent year we have also increased the import from India, our production and inputs materials for our automobile industry. Here I would like to point out that we are largest per capita automobile producer in the world. Actually, Slovak has a 5 million population, but we are producing 1.2 million cars per year. And we are having 5 major automobile production units in Slovakia, starting from Volkswagen to Kia, Peugeot, Jaguar, Land Rover, and up to Volvo, which is the last investment of the Swedish company. The Jaguar Land Rover, I would just to stay a minute, because Jaguar Land Rover is owned by the Tata, the Indian companies, and I think this investment was also instrumental for getting another investors in Slovakia, Indian investors, because here I would like to say that we are very much interested in attracting the Indian investment, especially to higher value sectors in IT and green technologies, etc.
Absolutely. Now, these are traditional sectors between which India and Slovakia have dealt with, traded with, and successfully so. What are the aspects that you're looking at when it comes to sectors of R&D, technology, artificial intelligence, drone systems, defense, even atomic energy? What is the kind of roadmap you envision for both nations?
Well, you have very right and correct questions, because generally Slovak export is based mostly on the machinery, and we are also key supplier for Indian army. We are very reliable supplier since 1993, since the independence. We are supplier for all the public sector units and Indian ordnance factories, and we have many contracts with our partner in the defense field. Of course, beside the trade and investment, we are very much keen to cooperate in research, innovation, and also on the higher education. Slovakia, also like India, believes that the innovation is key for the growth and development. And here I just would like to say that Slovakia is a very much innovative country. The first ever flying automobile by company Aeromil has been produced in Slovakia. It is undergoing the extensive trials. Also, many of perhaps do not know exactly that the asset and one antivirus program which you have installed in your computers is produced by Slovak company Asset, but we are having other many companies. Spina, which is one of the perfect company producing the special ball bearings for the robotics. There are only 2 or 3 of these kinds in the world. Inobat is very much involved in producing the batteries for the automotive sector, and we are having Indian investor who is investing in the Slovak company Inobat. So there are really many other areas except of machineries and technologies. Here I would like to say regarding the students, of course, the cost of living in Slovakia are significantly lower than cost of living in the Western European countries. I really call up Indian students, especially in the field of the technical studies. I call them that please join us and ask also our embassy what can be the possibilities of studies in Slovakia, and we should join our hands to make our world smarter and better and also user-friendly.
I think I was coming to that, another aspect that has still not been explored or little explored was education, and how there can be a number of exchange students that can trickle into Slovakia, helping build your revenue generation when it comes to education, but also helping millions and millions who have really difficult competition back in India and could look for quality education, top-notch quality education as compared to the rest of Europe or even in the United States of America.
Yeah, as I said, Slovakia is a great country, it's a fantastic country. In fact, your very famous movie, Chere, Faces, has been also shot in the Slovak Republic, in the mountains, in the High Tatra region, in Slezský Dom. And Amitabh Bachchan was a major star who was also acting in the icon of the Bollywood. And on his press briefing, he has said openly that Slovakia is not just good for filming, but also for staying.
Yeah.
And his status on the social net has been seen by more than 80 million people. So I would say that this was the best promotion for the Slovakia. In the last 5 years, we had in Slovakia 1,200 Slovak students, especially in the technical areas, and we would like to increase this number. So I again call up your Indian students and please enter to Slovakia and use our facilities of the higher education.
Another question that I would like to, I'm intrigued about when it comes to tourism and COVID that hit the entire world very hard, Slovakia notwithstanding, there has been a vengeance when it comes to foreign nationals coming into Slovakia and enjoying your touristic attractions. Are there efforts that are being made by the government, by the tourism ministry as well, from your end, to attract more and more of tourism from India?
Yes, naturally. We are very much interested in tourism from India. There are many Indian restaurants. There is an Indian community. We have also beautiful mountains. We have the spa. We have a good place for shopping, which Indians are found of. So definitely Slovakia is given a good opportunity to visit our place and have a really good time. Here I would like to mention that we have been one of the first countries which have been accepted, and we have made an agreement with India on the exception of our COVID certificates.
Yes.
And that's why the traveling between India and Slovakia in this sense is very simple.
In addition, like you mentioned, Bollywood is something that attracts the entire world, and it becomes for a sales promotion pitch for Slovakia, which is brilliant. You talked about Amitabh Bachchan, the icon of the Bollywood industry. Are there more of these subsidies or discounts or attractions that are being provided by the country to allow for this word of mouth, and when it comes to the multimedia, the mass media, to then propagate in favor of your country?
Yes, I mean, there are many options, and I don't want to mention our discussion because those are in process, but we are discussing next films which will be produced in Slovakia with some of the producers in Bollywood. We have just recently visited, and in the short time, so you will be surprised, there will be other movies also shot in our country, and we are having great facilities. And there is a special festival for promoting the countries as a filming destination, which will be in Bombay, I think in October. So we will be definitely attending this as well.
I think that's brilliant. There are a lot of countries, including Australia, UK, other European nations, that are looking at free trade agreements to be signed with India. What has Slovakia's stand been, and what is it that both nations are then going to mutually benefit out of it?
Well, that is, all agreements are fine, are giving the framework for our cooperation. And as of now, Slovakia in India has prepared 2 agreements which will be signed very soon. One will be cultural agreement, or agreement on cultural exchanges. And other agreement will be in the nuclear energy, with the association responsible for the energy in both countries. But naturally, we are very much keen on following the agreements which are being negotiated on the EU level. That is the free trade agreement on protection on investment, and agreement on geographical indications. Once these agreements are completed, those agreements will give a tremendous boost to our cooperation, either in business, investments, and naturally our business trade volumes will be increased significantly.
Absolutely. Diplomatically, we have had strong relations. You've mentioned about several of these historical instances that provide evidence to it. In wake of the New World Order, COVID that has hit the world, the Chinese aggression that is being witnessed in full hostility by the majority of the world, and when it comes to the Ukraine-Russia war, is there advantage point for India when it comes to Europe, and particularly Slovakia, when it comes to supply chain dynamics changing, the import-export impacts changing, increasing, when it comes to basic supplies, whether it is commodities, whether it is food? How does Slovakia witness India's role when it comes to this global change that is being witnessed?
Well, as I have mentioned, India is a global player. You are becoming the 5th largest world economy. I have just read in the morning with 3.5 billion of the GDP. And of course, for us, the problems you mentioned are there. They are very significant. We really appreciate, and we are supporting the Indian policy of the Indo-Pacific region, and especially of the free shipment and free shipment of the goods, and on the other hand also the correct and proper supplying chain, because that was the problem of the COVID-19, and even now of the Russian aggressive war in Ukraine, that we have been unable to get the spare parts and components for the production on time, which is especially touching Europe and also the Asia. So I would say the free open Indo-Pacific region, especially shipment and especially strong supplying chains, are a challenge for the future, and we should work together on the solid supplying business contacts.
Is there any likelihood in the coming years that Slovakian companies set up base in India, build these joint ventures, build these R&D facilities, build these manufacturing units in India? And what is it that your government would like when it comes to ease of doing business in our country? What are those points that you would seek from our government?
We are concentrating on our trading issues. We have few companies who are participating already, and they are establishing their presence in India in the field of machineries, equipments. We are having company in airport weather stations, and in the air traffic control we are having companies who just established now the presence in India in the recruitment of the high executive jobs from India to Slovakia. So we are having few of the companies, other companies cooperating in railways in the Calcutta. So naturally we see a lot of bureaucracy on the Indian side, which are making the access of our companies complicated. Of course, there are a lot of non-tariff barriers, and also very high taxes levels and fees on the level of every state. So, and each state has different policy.
Yeah.
So it is sometimes very difficult to explain it to our Slovak manufacturer and supplier about the, how it works in India, because of the more than 28 states and nine union territories.
Yeah.
But yes, we have the concept. We would like to increase our business cooperation. One of the and investment activities. One of the milestones was the visit of Your Excellency Dr. Jaishankar in Slovakia on 3rd of June this year.
Yes.
Except of that, he has been participating also at our security conference, GlobeSec. Also my Prime Minister, also he has called on my Prime Minister Edward Heger, and we had a very fruitful discussion how to enlarge our business, how to move the business forward. We understand that we have to get the companies together. We have to create for them the, network, and this we have to do via our Chamber of Commerce. Of course, we are using we are cooperating with FICI or CIA or PhD or other chambers. We are having Slovak Chamber of Commerce. We are having SARIO, Ministry of Economic of Slovakia is very much active in this field as well. Ministry of Foreign Affairs is active because we are having our own department for promoting the trade and investment. So I think that the visit of Mr. Jaishankar to Slovakia in summer gave a big impetus to our ties, and we definitely, since our high position officials has been invited to India for a reciprocal visit, then naturally we would like to reciprocate with the visit, and we feel that business will be grown.
Absolutely. I think there's ambitious plans for both the nations, and they are going to fructify in the coming years. And congratulations to both the governments for coming together in the political and the diplomatic will that has allowed for all these ambitious programs to then follow up in terms of implementation. And I for one, would be really, really happy if there could be manufacturing units of your flying cars setting up in India and providing and exporting it to the world. I think that would be a dream that both the nations could look together and envision it.
Yeah, thank you very much. And we also see the bright future in Slovak Indo ties. We are a friendly country. We have demonstrated the same during your Ganga operation.
Yes.
And we have now open issues, and I look forward to the cooperation in India and, of course, during my stay in your great country.
Thank you so much, His Excellency. Robert, but before I let you go, and I know you have impeccable Hindi, and I'm very impressed by that, and I would like one message from you to the Indian community in India, across the globe, and also to the people of Slovakia when it comes to the 75 years of independence that India is celebrating this year, and the 30 years of official ties, and many, many more years of unofficial ties that both nations have celebrated.
And I think you are promoting me so much. My Hindi is basic, but I can say Bharat mere liye dusra garje sa hai. And also, of course, I can deliver the message, which I have already done it. It is there on my social medias,
Yes.
and of course I have greeted all the people of India on your 75 independent years, but on the 76th of the independent year, which has started just from 15th August 2022.
Thank you. Thank you so
Thank you
much,
very much.
Ambassador, for being with us on NewsX. And here's to many more of these achievements between both the nations, and for a bright trade and diplomatic ties here on.
Shukriya, Dhanyavad, and Vande Mataram.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Namaste.
प्रिय भारतवासियों, 15 अगस्त 2022 को 12/6 स्वतंत्रता दिवस मनाने जा रहा है। मैं आपको इस स्वतंत्रता दिवस के अवसर पर समृद्धि, शांति और सौभाग्य की हार्दिक शुभकामनाएं देता हूँ। शुक्रिया, नमस्कार एवं वंदे मातरम।
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.